It's your girl Barbie J. Did you see that? Season 7, episode 11 of the Haves and the Have-Nots. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to begin. There was so much stuff going on. I'm like, Tyler Perry, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's adding new people in. He got Veronica just as mean as ever. I'm like, what is going on? So let us just, let us jump right in. We got Wyatt. He done slit his wrist. The guards come in at the Catherine's. Guards being annoying, of course. And she gets the guards to come. They come running in. Their shift changes over. And they see him. And she's making so much noise. They told her to shut up. I think the female guard told her to shut up. But I'm still going on with she's doing all this noise. He gonna cut his wrist. Why none of the other inmates affected? It don't seem like nobody else was affected. They just like, it's another day in jail. It was just like nothing to them. So she's screaming and they carry him out. And I said she did her part. She did that mother scream. She was going in. I said you wouldn't even known that her son just tried to kill her the day before. The way she was killing, I guess you're going to love your children anyway. I said, but I would have been up there, cut it more, cut it deeper, cut it harder. No, no, I might not have done that. I might have been like Catherine, I don't know. But, you know, like just trying to get attention. That's how I feel. I mean, you could let me know, but that's how I felt. But she did that distraught mother thing to the T. And I give her a little award for that, even though it was annoying. And then Benny. We go to Benny, and Benny's trying to, he got this thing, that man thing. He trying to boss people around. I guess he been the head of the household for so long. The male figure in the household so long. Not the head of the household, because Hannah ain't hearing that. But he been that male person, and he feels he have to look out for his sister and his mother all the time. And I understand that. I got it. But sometimes he just getting to the part where he being rude and disrespectful and bossy. Because he was trying to boss Candace around, and he's telling her, we not leaving. Oh, he finds something on the computer, and he's like, that's your father, that's your father. And she's like, leave it alone, let it go, just don't give it. Mommy's not going to tell you anything. She's mad at you. She's not going to say anything. I ain't leaving. Let's just pack and go. I ain't leaving until I find out, until she tells me something. And I'm like, Candace, really? You can't make up a better lie? Girl, you's a pathological liar. You know how to make up stories out the... They come all out of your pores. You can lie like at the top of... Why couldn't you make up something to shut your brother up? And I got to respect her for at least keeping her mother's secret. Her mother said, do not tell Benny. Benny will lose it. And that's the one thing she remembered not to do, is tell Benny. I was like, oh, Lord. So she was like making up excuses. And he was like, no, I'm going to ask Mama. And he goes walking through, mama, yelling through the house and stuff. And they mama ain't there. And I said, wait a minute. Because he's like, you didn't see how mama looked when that dude upset her. When Derek upset her, you didn't see how mama looked. I said, hold up. It's okay. You don't like when Derek upset mama. But just a few hours ago, you was telling mama, she just going to have to get over it. You too bad. I will leave and all this stuff. And enjoy, she's telling him to enjoy the money while he got it. He's like, that's what I want to do. I'm going to enjoy it while I got it. She's like, because it ain't going to last long. I'm like, you was so disrespectful to your mother last episode. And now you worry about somebody else upsetting your mama when you upset her? I just don't understand it. Benny, I don't understand you. Tyler, I don't understand you writing that in. But I'm going to leave it at that. Now, next, they switch over to Landon and Oliver. I don't know what's going on with them two. Landon and Oliver got something. They bicker like little children. And I'm thinking, God, Oliver got that little boofy, whatever thing was on his top of his head, bouffant. I'm so glad he got rid of that and took it off the top of his head last episode. But he comes in there with information, and he's telling Landon that he knows something about Candace. And he's like, what is it? What is it? And he finally tells him that she booked a flight. She booked a flight to New York. And then he's like, oh, was it Atlanta? Or was it, you know, being silly. But I think it was New York. And Landon's like, okay, thanks, you know. And Oliver walks out while but there's something still going on with them. But then, like 5 minutes later, Oliver's out in the living room, or whatever that room is called in that house. And he gets a phone call, and it's the kidnapper. Why is the kidnapper calling Oliver? And Oliver, he's giving Oliver information on Candace. And I was like, oh, snap. What is going on here? But I don't know if everybody heard it. You know, he said, he asked the kidnapper, does Jim Cryer know that you're working for my father? So who's Oliver's father? Does anybody know? Please put it down in the comment section, because I missed something somewhere. In some episode somewhere, I missed. Who is Oliver's father? But did y'all pay attention and hear what they said? He said he was following Candace, and Candace went in the drugstore and brought a pregnancy test. He said it real low. I don't know if y'all heard it. I was like, ooh, she gonna have the president, baby. I don't know. That's my thought. So he said that, and that she hangs out with somebody called Mitchell Malone. So he gave up that information. But I was like, oh, this is getting deep. Then he want this guy to meet him. But of course, when you meet him, you find out what it's all about. So then it goes to the Malone's bar, and the uncle keeps asking about the black kid. Where did the black kid get the money to pay me? Where did the black kid get the money for? And I'm sitting there going, what difference does it make? He got your money, and he's not the one that stabbed you. And he gave you the interest too, the 20% interest. And then he said he's late, and he gave him another 5. And he's still like, where he get that money? Now, see, I think there's going to be a problem if they find out that they got the millions of dollars. Because remember, they were told him in a couple of seasons before, they said he had millions in his bank account, but it wasn't his money, you know. So I don't know why the Malones care about how Benny got his money, but it is what it is. But then the one that, what is it, the cousin Sandy Malone, he's so racist and stuff. They all supposed to be racist, but he don't like black people. Meanwhile, he dating some light-skinned black chick. She was real light, if y'all saw it. She's this light-skinned black chick. And she giving him a restraining order. And you could tell the way he talked to her, you better be at my house, you better do this, you better do that. And Mitch is like, I keep telling him, leave that girl alone, let her be. They said no cops will serve him, so she had to come serve him herself. And you find out about that in the next couple of episodes. I mean, the next episode, why them cops do not mess with them. They ain't trying to serve no Malone, no restraining order. Ain't nobody trying to die. And so, the uncle gets a phone call. And it said, Mama Rose been arrested. He's like, what? So they all jump up to go, and they make Mitch stay. They make Mitch stay and watch the place. And I was like, okay, I wonder why they don't consider Mitch probably really part of the family, like gangster type. But Mitch stayed. Good thing he did, you know. But then they show David, and David's in the living room. And here come Jeffrey and Madison in, and they play little girls. I was like, oh my God, why they gotta make them be so curly? And they playing around, no, you stand inside. And he said, oh, hey guys. And you know, he said, oh, I'm about to go out. I'm go to the hospital. I gotta see Jim or something like that. He just don't want to be in that house and hear them screaming, ah, 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 ah. That's why he leaving. David like, I ain't trying to be here for that. So they said, but you got on your pajamas. He said, yeah, that's okay. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. And so he goes out the house and realizes he forgot his car keys. And he don't even want to go back in and see them no more. And so he takes his security details keys. And he goes, I guess he drives somewhere. He takes his keys in his car. But I don't like Madison, and maybe I'm being funny. I don't know. But I don't like the way Madison acts. He thinks everybody's supposed to be okay with what's going on and get over it right away. Jeffrey ain't been out the closet but 5 days. It's like he been out the closet. He ain't been out that long. 5 days, and he done been with about 3 or 4 guys, you know. But it's like, still, Madison, don't be forcing his dad to get over it. Don't be. I think he's petty the way he does that. It's like really childish. You gonna stand there and make him feel uncomfortable and say things and do things and always smiling. Then he's taking off his clothes and why you taking off your clothes downstairs? People live together, whether you gay or not. That don't mean if you wasn't gay, I still don't want you taking off all your clothes down in my living room while I'm down there. Hello, you know, it's just like you don't do that. You respect people's houses. It's not Jeffrey's house. It's his father's house. Yes, he lives there, but you got to respect, Madison. Show respect. Anyway, he told me your father's a grown man. He'll get over it. He need to get used to it. No, not in your time, in his time. And that's all I got to say about that one. Then it goes to Hannah. Hannah shows up at the Malone's bar. What is it called? The Iron something? The Iron Monkey? The Iron Horse? I don't know what it's called. I forgot. I call it the Malone's bar. And she shows up there. And Mitch tried to get her to leave and go home. This not a place for a lady like you. She like, Mitch, you don't know me. You don't know me. I'm like, looking around, Hannah. You know, and he never said that they racist or they don't like black people there. But, when she wouldn't leave, she said, well, I'm going to have a ball. When your family coming back? They ain't coming back. I want to see what kind of protection they going to have for Benny. I want to know what $8 million protection they going to have for my child. You know, to guarantee that Jim ain't going to touch him no more. So, Mitch get on that phone real quick and call Benny. And Benny tells Candace, and they bounce. They bounce and they go to the bar. And so, Hannah sitting there. Hannah is in there, and Mitch is nervous now, and I think Mitch is nervous because if she says something to them, they might find out that he lied, because he lied to Jim Cryer and them and stuff, and said that money would keep them off of him. But it doesn't mean that. I don't think his grandmother know about that. But anyway, then it goes to Catherine's accountants. I didn't know who these two men were. All I heard was one of their names is John or something. And these two are starting a new business. They in a restaurant starting a new business, and they trying to borrow money for people or something. And they want to see it for their new venture. They want to see if I think they're gonna try to ask Catherine for money, but then they found out Catherine's in jail. So then they were like, well, let's call Marty and find out what Marty's saying. Next thing you know, Marty calls, and Marty's like, I want to meet with y'all. And they run and go and meet with Marty, and now they gonna meet with him. What was strange is they tell the restaurant people, hold our table, we'll be right back. What city they in again? Savannah, Georgia? Where was they? That they hold a table and they could go out to the office somewhere and nobody would touch it for another hour. It's just that was weird to me. But you know, they had ordered food, but you know, out here people leave like that and never come back. You got their food cooking and the table held, and I'm just saying that was kind of crazy, that part. But I don't know what they gonna do. They were making jokes and stuff. I was they were laughing. What was funny, one of their funny lines they said is, Catherine's in jail, and they said, I would go to jail too to get away from Jim. Because Jim does, nobody likes Jim. He's a bleep. That's all I'm gonna say here. Bleep, you know. And so they figured they was gonna get Catherine to invest in their venture and stuff, and they already talking about, oh, what they gonna do, probably trying to skim some money from her. She won't know. She trusts them. They think she trusts them more than she trusts. Well, that is true. She probably trusts them more than she trusts the husband. But we heard in last episode, say to Hannah, she don't trust none of them. She said she don't trust none of them. She meant it. Then it goes to Justin's house. Oh my God. Justin, first of all, I didn't know Justin had a bunch of brothers. His brother come in there and said, Mom's been calling me, because I was wondering what happened to his mama. Remember his mom lived across the street from that house that Candace had with the dead body in the cement and all that. And I'm sitting there going, whatever happened to his mama? How come you don't hear about her? So she called the brother, I think his name was Tanner, and he comes from New York, and he goes to check on Justin, and he's concerned, Mama's concerned, what's going on, who's this dude? Who's this dude? He said, you mess with boys again? You know, I said, ooh, he was doing this. I knew this couldn't have been going, just happened. He's stopping, he a police officer fondling men in the back seat. It couldn't have just happened. It was in him when he was younger, he was like that. Aha! See? And you heard his brother was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? All over the wall. And then he went and grabbed something. And I think it was a picture. It broke. You heard it break. And I guess he took a picture of Jeffrey with him and said, you better not find out you messing around with the boys again. Also, I'm going to get your brothers and we're going to come and beat you bleep again. You know what he said, again. And I said, like we did before when you were younger or something like that. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is something. Then Veronica. Here we go with Veronica again. She walking through her house drinking as always. And she's like, what the hell? She looking at the pool saying, this where it happened. That's where it happened. That's where he tried to drown her. She did, remember in her living room. That's where it happened. That's where you slapped me and hit me to the floor. There's blood on my rug, you know. She don't forget stuff. That's something. You mess with Veronica, she ain't gonna forget that until she get revenge and kill you. So she sees Rodell, that thug, in her pool. She like, what the? She telling him to get out the pool. He's like, come in, come in. She's like, no. And you know why she ain't getting there? Because last time she was in there, he was trying to drown her. Her ex-husband was trying to drown. David was trying to drown her. Oh God. So she tell him to get out the pool. And he don't want to get out. And she said, okay, I'm going to go throw a hair dryer in there that's plugged in. And he jumps up and comes out. And he said, boy, what happened to you? He said, you used to be fun, you know? And he's like, get down on your knees. Like, he going to tell her to, like, get down and, I guess, I don't know, give him something. She's like, I don't know who you think I am. I ain't one of your biatches from the street. She's like, I ain't not one of your biatches from the street. You need to check that. And then the next thing you know, he tells her that he saw Jeffrey in a restaurant. She said, you really? And he said, with a guy. I don't know where that's leading to, but he gave her that piece of information. Next thing they know, they going back and forth. He goes down. She lets him go down on her. She said, you got 5 seconds to change my mind. And he went up under her dress, and I guess he did that 5 seconds of changing her mind. Because she was giggling and smiling. She said, come on, bring your ass upstairs with me. And she took him up to her bedroom. Then we got Candace. Candace and Benny show up at the Iron Bone. The Iron Bone to get Hannah to go home. And she started with that, Mommy, come on. She said, oh, now I'm Mommy? Now I'm Mommy again? And he said, Mama, you gotta go. And he goes to touch her. She said, don't you touch me. I was like, ooh, Hannah is pissed. She is pissed at them kids. They done pissed their mama off to no end. So she's like, don't touch me. I want to sit here. I want to know what $8 million of protection looks like. I ain't leaving. And they like, oh my God. And they like, they don't like black people here. She said, what, this ain't the 50s. I can stay wherever I want. And all them people were looking around. You could see people in the background looking at her. She was pissed. And oh my God, Candace went and started talking to Mitch, and they was like, this ain't good, because see, Mitch's lie is about to come out. Then they gonna find out about that millions that she got from Jim, and Jim has helped those Malones in a lot of ways. You know, Candace helped with one thing, that was getting war, but all this other stuff, they gonna lose that money. They gonna lose that money if they find out. So Candace is like, okay, we got to do something, Mitch. And Mitch is like, she's like, Mitch, tell me what's going on. And he told her the truth, that what he did to get the money from Jim Cryer so that Benny could be okay and pay him off and stuff. I don't know. Oh, Mitch family also was trying to find out where he get that car from, the Jeep. Mitch wouldn't tell him about the Jeep either. They want to know where he get money for all this stuff. It's so funny. They said, we gonna find out. So you know that's gonna be somewhere down along the line, because they trying to find out where Mitch got money from, where Benny got money from, and it ain't even none of their business. You don't even like black people. So if you don't like the black kid, why you care where he got his money from? But anyway, but then Ruthless Candace come out. Ruthless, like, she gonna call her boys and they gonna have to carry her out. And she was like, kept telling Benny he gotta leave. It'd be best. It's gonna get messy. You don't need to be here. And Benny's like, what are you talking about? He said, she's like, you gotta go. You gotta go. And I was like, what? And she said, go talk to Mama. You see Mama leave. Mama was talking about she ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. I'm staying right here. Oh, she was pissed. She said, I'm waiting for Mitch's family to come. And Candace was like, that's it. She went over to her. She said, Mama, Benny left. And she said, nobody don't worry. She gonna be okay. Hannah, like, what you mean gonna be okay? What you mean gonna be okay? I know I'm gonna be okay. Anyway, mess with me. And they said, she said, Mama, I'm sorry I have to do this. And he said, she called the guy and said, because she told her mother she got 43 seconds. I said, 43 seconds? Who was counting that? Well, she called him and said, come get her. I said, oh, snap. She said, what? What, Candace? Why? They came in there. She said, don't hurt her, don't hurt her. And they carried her out. I was kicking and screaming. I said, oh, snap. Yeah, Benny would have been pissed about that. Because he kept saying, no, nobody better touch my mama. She said, we ain't going to hurt her. They ain't going to hurt her. You got to go. You got to go. But that was jacked up. So then we go to Celine's oldest son. He shows up at Jim's hospital room. And Jim treats him like crap. Jim didn't even know who he was. He didn't know who he was. And he's like, oh, about time you got here. Just take this trash and throw it out, please. It stinks in here. Get it out. He wouldn't even look up, barely looked at the man. And he saw him in a suit. He's like, I'm in a suit. I'm not in here to throw out no trash. He said, then what you doing in here? What you doing in here? And the kid goes, you just see another Latina and you just assume they here to take out your trash. Maybe I need to take out the trash that's in that bed right there. And he was like, what are you talking about? He said, you don't know who I am? He said, I'm Celine's son. I said, oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, while you're here, you could leave and just take out the trash. And he was just so rude to Celine's son. And he's like, I just could not believe it. And the boy kept trying to talk to him, and he wasn't trying to hear it. Jim was just being Jim, nasty. Don't have nothing to do with that boy. Don't want to have nothing to do with them. Get out of here. Get out of here. He just kept telling him to get out of here. And, you know, Jimmy just gets tired of the horrible treatment that Jim was giving him. And he pulled out a gun. He pulled out a gun. And it went off with Jim cowering in the corner like this. In his bed. Yep. So that's how it ended, you know. And I'm telling you, I can't wait to see the next episode, episode 12. I will be posting that tonight as well. Okay? So, y'all tell me what you think. Peace.